Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that will be prominent this week, beginning today, the 21st of August, and moving through the weekend. We've got some pretty heavy shifts of energy and a new moon this week, so let's get started. I do want to back up one day before we go forward, and backing up one day means that we are going to talk about Mercury entering shadow yesterday in the sign of Virgo at 24 degrees. And the reason why I want to back up before we move forward is this theme, whatever the theme that was surrounding yesterday or today relative to communications, thought processes, anything that is Mercury affiliated, we will be pivoting back and revisiting sometime near the end of September, the first part of October, when Mercury in retrograde, Mercury actually officially goes retrograde. But I do want to expand a little bit more on this Mercury retrograde, the season, this entire year. I've noticed a bit of a pattern here as when I looked back at the Mercury retrogrades for this year, and what's very interesting to me as in each one of the retrograde cycles so far. So in January we had Mercury and Capricorn move forward through to Aquarius, to a portion of Aquarius, then retrograde back to Capricorn, then move forward to Aquarius. So Earth, Air, Earth, Air. Then in May Mercury went from Taurus to Gemini, then back to Taurus, Gemini. So Earth, Air, Earth, Air. So here we are now. Mercury entered shadow in the sign of Virgo. It's going to continue to go forward until it goes retrograde. And it's going to retrograde in the sign of Libra back to Virgo. So we've got this very interesting dichotomy, or excuse me, this very interesting patterning of Earth to Air transitions in Mercury relative to Mercury-themed situations. And in December, Mercury goes retrograde in Capricorn, so it's strictly Earth. What does this mean? Just taking a step back and thinking about this energy, it really is the embodiment. So Earth energy is, grounding, the embodiment of air principles, so thought processes. So are we actually living what we're thinking? And I think we've discussed it so many times, certainly over the course of this year and probably last year as well. What you think becomes your reality. So are you embodying the reality that you want to live? So keep that in mind during this Mercury retrograde cycle and situations that you may be revisiting, pivoting back over the course of that retrograde cycle. Just keep that in mind. It's very interesting to me that we've gone Earth to Air for all of these retrograde cycles, with the exception of the last one in December. Like I said, it's going to root itself in Capricorn energy exclusively. So anyway, that was yesterday. And moving forward, like I said, Mercury entering shadow is a biggie, and Mercury is also going to change signs later in the week. On Thursday, Mercury is going to enter Libra. And Libran energy is balance, diplomacy, relationships. It can have legal aspects to it as well. And when Mercury enters Libra, it's everything that we're thinking and talking about. So relative to those themes, those Libra themes, relationships, balance, legalities, just know that these themes will be prevalent until Mercury comes out of retrograde quite some time. So anyway, that is, as of Thursday this week, is when Mercury actually moves into Libra. But again, I wanted to talk about Mercury and get that kind of out of the way. Then tomorrow, Monday, the 22nd, we have the Sun is going to enter Virgo. So what are Virgo themes? Virgo themes are practicality, details, precision, the minor aspects of each day, the habits, when you get up, what you do when you get up, the manner in which you move through your day, but it's the embodiment as well. It's that Earth embodiment, health consciousness, what you do every day for yourself to be in a very healthy place. These are all Virgo themes. And with the Sun moving into this area, these particular themes may become even more important to you as we inch closer to tomorrow. And that'll be with us again until the sun enters Libra later in the month of September. Excuse me. Then on Wednesday, which I believe is the 24th of August already, Uranus, this big news, Uranus is going to go retrograde in Taurus. So, as we know, whenever a planet goes retrograde, the energy of that planet is very pronounced. So we know what Uranian energy is all about. It is, consciousness. It is quantum leaps. It is surprise and shocks. Now, that combined with Taurus, because Uranus is in Taurus. So Taurus is all about stability. It's all about finance, markets. It's about self-worth, what's it worth, what's the value, those type things. So with Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, be prepared for, I would say, expect the unexpected, especially when Uranus goes stationary to begin this retrograde cycle. Again, that energy is pronounced. So expect the unexpected relative to Uranian energy. Quantum leaps forward, any Earth events, because it is Taurus and Uranus is kind of shocking. So we could experience some Earth events this week as well, but certainly some quantum leaps of consciousness for sure that affect our stability, our finances, how we see value, what we think is valuable, and that includes our own self-worth as well. So that's big energy, and it's going to be with us for a while. I'm looking forward to Uranus retrograde cycle, the pivot's back. Where we stand now as opposed to when Uranus went into shadow quite some time ago, and how we view our self-worth differently. This is all going to come into play here now. Then let's move forward to Saturday. Saturday is when we have our new moon in Virgo, and it's going to be, again, embodying those Virgo themes of, precision, details, daily living tasks and habits, your health. It can be a lot of overthinking though, because it's a lot of detail oriented processes. Just be mindful. Sometimes Virgo energy can get lost in the details, so just be aware of that. But with this new moon in Virgo, set a new intention relative to those themes of Virgo. That's where they work out the best. And the biggest situation relative to this new moon is it is square Mars, and Mars is in Gemini. And whenever there's a square with Mars, it's relative to wanting to take action or frustration, building so much that something's got to give. I got to take action on something. Passions running really high. Watch for angry words or just actions that don't really, it doesn't measure up to how you feel. You're over the top. And again, with this being square, this new moon in Virgo, your mind could be just racing. And calmness is the key here. Whenever we've got a square with Mars, the more you can select peace instead of action, or use the compelling, something's got to give, that frustration. Extrapolate the action necessary to select peace, even though it may feel like it's utter chaos, and knowing that by choosing the action of separating yourself from all the chaos can give you the peace that you so deserve. So that's a biggie at the time of the new moon. Now, in addition to that, and not necessarily relative to the new moon, there are other configurations going on that will be playing out in the background that I want to make sure that you are aware of. Mercury, which just entered the sign of Libra, is going to be opposite Neptune. So because it's in opposition to Neptune, you may not have all the details of a situation. So if you're finding yourself getting really fired up, again, that Mars squaring the new moon, you're getting fired up about something, maybe you heard something, you may not have all the details because, again, Mercury's across from Neptune, which means there's some fogginess there that you may not have all the information on. And then again, in the background, we've got the Saturn-Uranus square that we've talked about time and time again. That's going going to perfect in October. That's playing out in the background. So freedom versus restriction, traditional versus new, that energy starts building up, and you've got Mars square the new moon. It may want you to do something relative to that. Just be patient, relax. All will be well. I promise you that. Even if you feel like your freedom is being challenged in some way, harness that Mars energies to choose peace over the chaos, and I think that will definitely serve you well. Now, an interesting dynamic on this day, we do have Venus, which is in Leo, is going to square Uranus, which is in Taurus. So, good Lord have mercy. This tells me, please do not plan any romantic surprises for your partner on this day. They're not going to go the way you expect. That's for sure. And I would also shelve any cosmetic procedures, anything relative to Venus, money, but large purchases that you want to make on the spur of the moment. It's best to wait, because you've got that Venus-Uranus square, and boy, oh boy, that just doesn't, for the long haul, that you're going to be sad that you did something spur of the moment. So be mindful of that. And then there's this really fun trine between Mercury, which is in Libra, just went into Libra, and Pluto, which is in Capricorn. And that goes along with the theme of using transformational communication. Even though Mercury's across the sky from Neptune, there may be some details that may be a little bit foggy, but it's trine Pluto. Mercury is trine Pluto here. So it's easy to apply transformational communication or thoughts to regain that balance, especially with Mars and Gemini. So just use that trine, the Mercury-Pluto trine, to communicate in a way that may be transformational, or hear words instead of being combative about it. Allow that to transform you. At the time of this new moon, remember again, it is in Virgo. Don't overthink matters. With Mars and Gemini, really can be very changing. Just when you think this, then that, you're bouncing between multiple ideas and very energized in that process. Just don't overthink things. Practice that healthy detachment where you need to. Allow yourself to process, but not over process. And if things get too intense and passionate, that's that Mars theme, take a step back. Virgo is asking us to embody the appreciation of living those smaller moments. That's what Virgo is all about. And appreciating where we are right now, regardless of what frustrations arise relative to the collective, relative to our outside world, asking us why we feel stuck between freedom versus restriction. And, feeling like we've been waiting for this big change forever, it's never going to come. And focusing on that big change does not allow us to see the details, the regularly lived daily details that are changing, that we do have an opportunity to make that change, and appreciate those small moments for exactly what they are. By focusing on the big picture and recognizing that it's not going to change, again, that thought is going to keep you stuck in that energy. So let's appreciate the small details that we get through every single day. And be free. Practice the embodiment of peace, and trust that the universe and your subconscious really knows what's going on. And we on the physical plane may not know what's happening. However, if we can trust the universe and trust our unconscious self to lead us in the right direction, and that intuition, the peace will definitely come. So that's what I have for you this week. I certainly hope you have a fabulous week. If you like this video, please do like it. If you know somebody that could be helped by this video, please do share it with them. And if you'd like to know when videos are being dropped, please click the subscribe button. If you have any comments or suggestions, please post them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a fabulous week. Namaste.